Y'all saw they was looking for us out at the No Kings March and they couldn't find us. Bill Maher's talking about, oh yeah, the Baltimore newspaper said that they photographers was searching for black people in the crowd and they couldn't find them. They was looking for us, child. And the reason why they was looking for us is because they want us to be the face. They wanted to take a picture of us to put on the front page of the newspaper when they wrote that story. They want us to be the face of everything that's wrong with this country. And that's the reason why I need y'all, November 1st, if they cut SNAP like they say they're going to, I need y'all to not come on here and talk about how not having SNAP benefits is affecting you. I need you to not give no interviews to no newspapers. Do not be the face of the SNAP benefits. Do not let them use us, black women especially, as the poster child for SNAP benefits. Don't come on here talking about how you hungry, how your kids is hungry. No. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, DM me if you must. If you get the urge to come on here and talk about how hungry you are, DM me and we'll figure something out. Because no, I just like we not the face of they little marches and all that type of stuff. I don't need us to be the face of this. We need to change the narrative. And the only way for us to do that is to keep our mouth shut.
Good morning. So nothing fancy this morning. I just wanted to hop up here and talk about the No Kings protest. So before you start gaslighting Black Americans about why they are not going to be outside protesting with you, just know that we are standing in solidarity with you. Just know that we are there with you in spirit, but we cannot physically be out on the front lines because they will be using us as target practice. I'm sure that you're well of your privilege, and I need you to use it immediately. For the longest time, Black voices and Black bodies have been the backbone of resistance in this country, to the point where I don't even know if you know how to resist without Black bodies and Black voices. And unfortunately, it's no longer our turn, because we showed up in November in 20 Black Suburbans like Sunday service, and we feel like we did our part. So to the Latinos, the Anglo-Saxons, the Asians who don't never say shit, they don't never protest nothing, to all the communities that have silently benefited from the labor of Black resistance, it's go time. It's your turn. It's no longer our turn right now.
I have not seen one video of a Black woman at the No Kings March. And I'm sure they're out there, but it was overwhelmingly white liberals. And I went back and forth with myself. I was like, should I protest? Should I not? But then I settled on, I'm tired. I don't know. As a Black woman, I feel like I've been protesting since 2020. And we show up to the polls, 92%. We've done our part, and I feel like it is time to let other people do theirs. Don't mean that I don't care. Don't mean that these issues aren't important. But yeah, it's time to let this be a collective effort instead of all on us.
Hi, my name is Leandro. You guys might know me by this video. And I just want to say something to the Latino population who keeps coming to TikTok and saying, no, calling out Americans, and specifically Black Americans, and being like, why aren't you guys standing up for us? We did it in Black Lives Movement. As an Afro-Latino, myself, we have to hold accountability for our actions. 60% of our people voted for that guy, voted for these deportations. Many of your family members voted for this guy, even though they knew you were maybe LGBTQ, maybe you were trans, maybe you had HIV, maybe you depended on scholarships, because now he wants to get rid of the border education, went to public school, right, were undocumented, right? All of these reasons, knowing this guy is literally the representation of white supremacy. The KKK supported this guy. He released the Project 2025 a whole year before the election. And we sat down, we told you what was gonna happen, and you still chose this guy. Okay? Just because he has conservative beliefs, the ones that your grandma and your parents were taught in Latin America, how did that work out for us? How much family trauma do we have for these conservative beliefs? in South America and Latin America? A lot, right? A lot. So anytime we speak about liberalism, you know, everybody should have access to healthcare. Everybody, you know, should not be able to be discriminated against based on the color of his skin or his race, even if they have the same qualifications as their white counterpart. Like, is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? I don't think so. But going back to the main topic of Latinos asking Black Americans to stand up for them and help them, and Black Americans are like, you chose that, you know, that is your battle. I approve that message. I approve it. I know I might get flagged for saying this, but it's true. As Latinos, we need to take accountability for our actions. And yes, not all of us voted for that guy, but we need to address the ones that did, call them out, and correct and revalue ourselves. Because just because you do not agree with, I don't know, reproductive rights or the LGBTQ community, which Kamala Harris did, right? Maybe because you don't agree with that, doesn't mean that this other guy does. Right? Doesn't mean that he's a better option for you, because remember, you're still a person of color. And I know a lot of you light-skinned Latinos or white Latinos who, you know, honestly, you're not white American passing. And even if you are and you have an accent like mine, as soon as you open that mouth, you're done. You're done. So I just want to let you guys know that we need to do something. And there's no one else to blame than us. Hope this helped.
Black silence is golden, and whenever Black Americans go quiet, America starts to panic, because your silence has never meant weakness. It has always meant power. Black Americans have a unique spiritual silence, a silence that's not empty, but observing, calculating, and listening to God. This is the kind of silence that has shaken every era of American history. During slavery, enslavers feared the nights when the quarters were silent. During Jim Crow, silence meant strategy. During Civil Rights era, silence meant the next move was coming. In today's America, when Black Americans pull back socially, politically, or culturally, the nation senses a shift. Because your silence is never silent. It's prophetic, it's purposeful, it is, preparation for whatever it is. Black Americans carry a divine frequency that and that frequency goes quiet, the atmosphere changes. Whenever it goes quiet, the atmosphere changes. When Black Americans stop complaining themselves, something is about to change. When they stop entertaining, something is about to shift. When they stop reacting, God is about to move. Your silence frustrates people who depend on your energy to survive. Your silence disturbs, right? Your silence, your energy, your silence frustrates people who depends on your energy to survive, and that's just the truth. Your silence disturbs a culture built on consuming your creativity. Your silence confuses a nation that expects you to always perform. But here's the strength. Silence is your strategy. Silence is your shield. And silence is your strength. Every major breakthrough in America began with a season of silence. Quiet planning, quiet healing, quiet listening, quiet rebuilding, quiet elevation. Because when you are silent, you're listening to God, not America. Anyways, let's keep watching this video, right? I'll be back with the closing. Yeah, keep watching. I'll be back.
They're looking for black people. I saw a clip on Bill Maher about how for the No Kings protest, there was a reporter in Baltimore in Maryland that he was trying to find black people in the crowd and they couldn't really find any black people in the crowd. And Bill Maher saying how like the protest was pretty much white. Shit, I was at homecoming. People were dancing, having a good time. Like, there ain't much we can do. We did 92%. We did it at the polls. There's nothing much we could do right now. So why are you checking for us? Please stop. And then there's an unk on there who was saying like we had a meeting, which we did. We had a meeting pretty much saying we're gonna sit our little self down and mind our business because our protest was November 5th. There's no reason why. I get why people are protesting. We get it. The country is shit. Like, and why do y'all need us? We've been doing most things. We've been the front lines, like protesting. Like they've been sending dogs on us, like beating us, arresting us, like killing us. All that happens. But you notice for the No Kings protest, like I didn't really see much of that. It was peaceful. A lot of people show up. Again, amazing. But when we said we were going to sit down, we're so disappointed in this country. Like we're always going hard and trying to be the front line of everything. So hard. We're trying to tell all these other races, like, don't vote for him. This is what happened. Vote for, peace. And y'all did not. So why are you talking about, I noticed that's not enough black people. Why are you always looking for us? So we can get killed?
Why aren't black people helping Latinos riot against ICE in LA? Let's talk about it. There are 3 types of black people who are sitting these protests out. Number 1, the black Trump supporter who voted for deportations. Number 2, the Kamala Harris supporter who voted overwhelmingly for Kamala and then saw that Latinos overwhelmingly voted for Trump and they're like, y'all need our help now? Oh, hell no. And number 3, the older black people who are like, what are y'all up to? Oh, and there might be one other type of black person too. The kind of black person that hears something like this.
I don't think black people have a right to tell white people or Hispanics what they can and cannot say. And that means if a black person wants to use the N-word, that means a white person also can use the N-word because all lives matter, not just Black Lives Matter. So with that said, we need to stop cancel culture. It is anti-American. It is anti-free speech. And if you can say the N-word, so can I, whether you like it or not. It doesn't affect your freedom, but you're sure affecting mine by telling me that I can't say it because I'm not black. So make the N-word great again.
Okay, well, how about we make ICE great again too, bitch? It's a little weird that not only are Latinos pressed, but white folks are asking, why aren't black people out there protesting? Y'all usually ask, why are we protesting? It's almost as weird as this roll-off full of rocks that just so happen to be right in LA, right where the riots are, all cut off evenly, no construction around, just so happen to be there so people can start throwing them. Is that why y'all want black people out there? So y'all can get staged video footage to roll on cable news all night long showing unity and violence against Trump? Stop trying to use us. And all I keep hearing is blacks and browns, we gotta stick together. Blacks and Latinos, we're brothers, we're one. Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to have that outlook for more than just rioting and violence. I'm gonna need you to have that in the job market too, because blacks can't get a job in LA. Latinos hire Latinos, whites hire Latinos. If you don't come to LA already in a job that moved you to LA, or you own your own business, you're not working in LA. You know who's working in LA? All the people that they want us to protest to come here. So black people, the next time you're asked why aren't you out there protesting with Palestinians or with illegal immigrants, just let them know you put in the same amount of effort that they put in to get black reparations.
I don't want this divide. I'm not trying to divide black people at all. But we're being disrespected. And this is what I'm talking about. Can you not acknowledge that black Americans are being disrespected? We've been being disrespected by other people in the diaspora on a scale that exceeds just online discourse. Between what is happening at Essence Fest and what is happening in academia and even in Hollywood, it feels like the erasure of black American people in these spaces in Black American culture on a scale that is not just, oh, we're just talking to each other and we just don't want to be with each other in the streets. That's not what's happening. Like I said, I don't want the diaspora wars. I never participated in them online. But I can't deny what I see with my very own eyes. Essence Fest is one of the premier Black American festivals. And to change it and try to make it into something, Juneteenth too, where people are like, no, we're going to have Caribbean and African music playing. Like, are you serious? Like, let's not be obtuse, please.
And what I can't help but find funny is that when the Epstein list drops and it opens up and just spills out all its contents like a little box full of bad secrets, you know who's not gonna be in there? Black folks. Yeah, Black Americans, immigrants. Yeah, drag queens. Yeah, there won't be any of those trans kids. Yeah, not gonna be found. But it is gonna be a roll call of very rich, very powerful, very familiar, and very white faces. The very same people who have spent their whole careers, their whole lives pointing at everybody else saying they are the danger. Oh no. Let's flip it and reverse it. They said that we were the danger to America. Meanwhile, they were the ones booking flights to PDF File Island. Oh, okay. You won't find the DEI hires in those files. You won't find the communities that they claimed were morally ruining America. All the folks that they've spent decades scapegoating won't be present. But you will find the people who built this country's power structure. Because the sad truth of it is that marginalized communities do not have the wealth, the power, the privilege, the access to resources to get ourselves in this morally corrupt mess. And that's by their very design. Ain't that some shit? Because all of this is empire behavior. It's elite behavior. So baby, when them names drop, don't look at us. Look at those who have been clutching their pearls the loudest. Because baby, the call has always been coming from inside the house.
Why do we want to come out and defend anybody? Y'all have been coming out in several groups. Latinos have came out to protest. White people have come out to protest. Asians say we ain't got nothing to do with that. That's y'all problem. We trying to get our money. Arabs, you don't see them. You don't see East Indians and Pakistanis, none of them either outside no protesting, right? Yet all the protests, the last big one y'all did, the No Kings protest, y'all put a lot of money behind that. And it was a major dud. Why? Because you didn't have us there. So listen, ma'am, there are three different tactics that I've seen with trying to get black people off of our particular position. One, gaslighting, which you did a lot of that. Two, shaming. You did elements of shame. Or three, the third one, manipulation. And a manipulation is this. Oh, black people, we understand now.
So I see that y'all are actually out at these protests. Major slay. I have not seen one black person in sight. Yeah. Not one black person. Like literally, I've seen a bunch of lives and like TikToks. And each one I'm watching a bunch of different cities and states. Not one black person. I have not seen one black person. Amazing and magical. Yeah. Because this is what this is supposed to give. This is what this is supposed to be. Because y'all already knew if we were out there, it just wasn't going to give this right now. How peaceful it seems in the world. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that black people were the ones going to be making it unpeaceful. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. There's clearly a reason why there's literally a bunch of protests happening right now, but you're not really seeing anything about, you know, violence or anything like that. Riots breaking out, police brutality. So that's interesting, but it just goes to show that everything the black people were saying about not going to these protests, you know, correct. Absolutely correct. But yeah, I'm glad y'all are out there, you know, protesting. Thank you. That is a major slay. And to the black people staying at home today, enjoying your vibe, enjoy your day. You deserve. You deserve. I love you.
He didn't mention African Americans because he doesn't think they exist or think they're important. That's why he didn't mention them in his speech. African Americans have been in New York since the 1600s. And as someone who is a third generation New Yorker, half of my family coming during the Great Migration in the 1940s, and the other half of my family being there since the late 1700s. Oh yeah, we don't be there no more. We've been gutted out of our communities. We've been kicked out of our communities. We have been impoverished. Most of the people you see who are black on the street of New York are African American. They're African American. Why do you think that is? It's by design. That is by design. We can get into the whole historics of like why that is, the structural disenfranchisement of African Americans, of course, because we're owed a big motherfucking bill, and there's just feelings of if we get an actual power, not manicured power, but actual power, we're gonna get our lick back. And at this point in time, after the stunts y'all been playing with us, but to be real, like China's about to put y'all in check anyway, so I don't even think we need to do anything. But yeah, this stunt is just, they love to do this thing where they get like the bourgeois, they get like because something right now in U.S. politics, we really are trying to create some sort of relationship to India, probably for the labor force, because Latin America is resisting, as we see what's happening in Venezuela. And do you know who taught them how to do that resistance in Latin America and get their independence? Haiti. And who's really tied up in Haiti? The Clintons, right? Oh, shouldn't say that. And the Democrats. The Democrats are very tied up in maintaining the suppression of the global South. So what they do is they import the upper class from the global South and cosplay them as people of, quote unquote, people of color, a model minority, whatever. But really, they wear the skin of African Americans. They wear the history of African Americans, and then they erase them in the same breath. So that's what that is. And that's why Zora Mandami acted the way he did and did not include them. And he was definitely going to be a part of the continued gutting of African Americans in Bed-Stuy and in Harlem. Yeah. They moved all the African Americans actually into the housing projects, but I have a feeling that all the housing projects are about to be fully Latin American, fully Hispanic right now. So my little bit of advice for the Hispanic community, you're next. So they're going to go after the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans next. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Like, it's just going to happen. To make way, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked that underneath Zora Mandami, they make way for artist housing in the housing projects, or they renovate the housing projects for artist housing, which then there's going to be white people living in the projects. So just be prepared for it. But yeah, I'm just straight up pissed. I'm just, because also there's a layer of this where people are like, African Americans are dumb. A lot of people think African Americans are dumb, and they think African Americans don't know what is going on. That's why African Americans have to do this extreme kind of performance of being bourgeois and being intelligent and being so well read and academic, because people inherently think we don't know what the fuck happened to us. So we have to theorize our degradation. That is African American studies. That is any sort of humanities theory in relationship to the plight of African Americans. That is Afro-pessimism. We have to theorize our degra motherfucking to be considered a breathing human being. Anyway,
a country where you're the citizen, where your taxpayer dollars are going to fund those ICE raids, you're sitting here and saying, well, I'm not doing nothing because a little group of people made a comment against me, which probably wasn't even fucking against you. You're going and not talking about this shit or bringing awareness to this because of that? To me, it's giving your standing with Trump, right? Because if your tax dollars are also going to that ICE raids and you're choosing to not stand up and talk about what's going on and actively say like, hey, I do not stand with this, it's giving you support what the fuck's going on. I'm not even American, and shit like this just gets me fucking pissed off because you're absolving aid and awareness spreading solely because small groups of people, very few little groups of people, like individual people, not even groups, I can't even speak for entire groups, individual people from those groups decided to make comments that's now left you with a sour taste in your mouth, and now you're never going to show any support or any aid when, again, you're an American citizen and this is going on in this country that you live in, right? Like, again, your tax dollars are going towards these ICE raids. What the fuck are you doing about that? What are you doing to oppose that?
So let me tell you, when you see Black Americans quiet, they're not protesting with you, they're not doing no shit with you, they're not crying for no stamps, no this, no that. So if you feel quiet in this season, don't apologize. Yeah, Black Americans, don't apologize. You are not disappearing, you are preparing. Black silence is golden because it is the calm before the transformation, the pause before the power, and the rest before God lifts you again. And America knows it. When Black Americans go silent, the world should pay attention. Yeah, let me stop here. I'd actually like to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you've not subscribed, please go ahead, subscribe, like, share this button, share these videos, right? And always come back to watch more of my content. I do content like this for you all the time. I'll see you next time. My name is Blessing, or BJ on Global, just BJ. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.